In October this year, during the recent bluefin tuna fishing season, which was part of the tagging project sanctioned by DEFRA and delivered by 25 charter skippers and their crew, I was lucky enough to go out on Jerry Rogers' boat Devotion from Falmouth, along with 3 other anglers too. Before we went, quite a lot of the bluefin had been caught within 5 or 6 miles of the coast. But just prior to this trip, Jerry had some success on an offshore reef, so we decided to steam out 15 or 16 miles to the area. Some of the recent poor weather had broken up the shoals of baitfish, which had in turn scattered the bluefin a bit. Once we approached the area in which the reef was situated, we started to see large aggregations of Manx shearwaters. I don't think I've ever seen so many of these birds in one place. There must have been hundreds of them. This is generally a sure sign that bluefin are in the area. To be the first ones on the scene when tuna are around, they have the most amazing ability to smell the tuna from miles. Strangely though, we didn't see any other seabirds at all. Moving along, we could actually see on the fish finder the bluefin moving up and down the water column. Very big signals indeed. Once the gear was deployed, it didn't take long to get the first fish up to the stinger. And the first on the rods was Martin Min, known as Minzy. Now Martin has caught all sorts of fish all over the world, so he kind of knew what to expect. The first one came up very smoothly, and Martin did seem to know the art of stand-up. Here it is, breaking the surface. Always a spectacular sight. Next up was Chris Wadey. He had a pretty green fish which put up a very lively struggle. And here this one comes, the crew carefully bringing the fish to the boat, and what a beauty. This is the part where we rebreathe the fish, bringing it alongside the boat, chugging along at 5 knots to let the fish recover its oxygen content and build up its strength before release. It's a very, very important part of the process. The art of fighting a fish using the stand-up technique can be difficult to master, but here is a good example of how it's done. See, he's using his legs to put pressure on the fish and then reeling in on the downstroke. Even the experienced anglers can find it a bit of a struggle. And here's the fish, pinwheeling under the boat, just before breaking surface, and the crew can then grab the leader. This fish was also pretty green, and we got it to the boat quite early. As a result, it was difficult to tag, but in the end it went off absolutely fine. All three anglers caught fish, and the fish were hitting so well that even I got a go, resulting in a fine fish of around 400 pounds. I can tell you it's a really exhilarating experience to fight such a big beast, especially when you've gained enough line so the rod loads up. It's almost the most important part of the fight. You can really feel connected to the fish. And wow, you can really feel the power. Here's a happy angler. All the fight times are around 35 minutes, which is within the recommended fight time. It's difficult to get an accurate weight on these fish because we only measure them before they're tagged and released. All four of the fish we caught did go off very nicely once they've been rebreathed. They are quite incredibly beautiful animals, as you can see. Jerry Rogers is one of the most experienced skippers in the fleet. He's been tangling with these fish since they first appeared in British waters nearly 10 years ago. It was a great day out and I'm very grateful that Jerry let me come on board and experience these amazing creatures. Let's hope we can all get out again next year. We are all hopeful that it will be a fully licensed fishery in 2023. It's not definite, but if it doesn't happen, we're positive that it will happen in 2024. So watch this space. If you want more information about bluefin, a campaign to open up a recreational fishery, or to make contact with bluefin anglers, then go to the UK Bluefin Tuna Association website, which is www.ukbfta.co.uk.